Ah yes, the rumor mill strikes again.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video response to RGT85. Sean, good friend of mine, he did a video yesterday talking about the fact that there might be 2 Nintendo Directs this month. And I'm going to be talking about what I would want from each of the Directs. So I'm pretty certain there's going to be at least 1 Nintendo Direct this month. It's pretty likely. So I'm going to talk about it in kind of 2 segments in this video. One segment is if there's going to be 1 Nintendo Direct, and then the other segment if there's going to be 2 Nintendo Directs. So, let's get started. So if there's only going to be 1 Nintendo Direct, I am 99.9% certain it is going to be fully Smash Bros. Related, which I can kind of expect, but it does disappoint me since we've had so much Smash news the past few months. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am very excited for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to come out. If you haven't seen my top 5 characters that I want video, go check that out, because that's kind of what I would want to see from characters in this Direct, if this were, if this does happen. But other than that, the only other thing I really want to see is the story mode. I feel like they've shown so much of this game off that none of it's a mystery anymore. I mean, we know all the characters, we know all the stages, so none of it feels like a real surprise. I think, if they want to keep this game somewhat ambiguous, they should keep some characters and some stages pretty secret. I think that if they release too much information, I don't know. I think it'd be a lot better if they just held information. And I get it, within a day that information would be out. But I think that would be a lot cooler way of, of hearing the news. I don't know. There's just something about figuring it out from actually playing the game, as opposed to, oh, Nintendo just announced every single character. I think there should be hidden characters that we don't know about and stages that we don't know about. But one thing I do think we should hear about is the story mode. So I'm pretty certain that there will be a story mode, and the one thing I'm wondering, this isn't me trying to tie in Luigi's Mansion into this, but the trailer with Luigi, with when he dies and his spirit comes out, I wonder if that does relate to the story mode. And I'm thinking probably the same with the Ridley reveal, with Mario and Mega Man kind of being killed in a way. I feel like it's going to be like a heroes versus villains type story mode where instead of trophies like they did in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, there might be spirits this time around. And, if they do a really cool story mode, I think that's the one thing I would love to hear about in this Direct. I mean, for me, that could make it a day 1 buy for me. If the story mode doesn't impress me that much, or if they just don't talk about a story mode, then the game is not a day 1 buy for me personally. I like Smash, but I'm just not as big on it as everyone else is, personally. But if they talk about some badass story mode that takes components of every single Nintendo game and merges it into one, takes the Subspace Emissary from Super Smash Bros. Brawl and boosts it times 10, I mean, that would be worthy of a day 1 buy for me personally. I know I don't talk about Smash Bros. Much on this channel. That's just because personally it's not my type of game. I'm not much of a fighting game kind of guy. But if they added a cool single player element, since that's kind of more so my style, and it could be really good. Cause I played Subspace Emissary back when Super Smash Bros. Brawl was the main Smash game, and I really liked it. I think a lot of people kind of complained about it. I don't know how people's perception of it is nowadays, but I think back then it was kind of like one of those okay things, but the enemies were kind of generic and, stuff like that. But I liked the story mode personally. You saw each character shine. I personally really liked it. So really, if we are going to get only 1 Direct this month, I mean, any Nintendo news is good news in my book. So if it's going to be only Smash Brothers, I think the single player mode is really the only thing that I personally care about. And there hasn't been a confirmed single player mode, so I could be just talking out of my ass here. But I think if they make this, for me at least, a day one buy would be having an awesome single-player mode. Because, yes, it is a fighting game and a multiplayer-focused game, but I think multiplayer games do need some sort of single-player focus. I mean, Call of Duty kind of drifted away from it, but the thing is, Call of Duty is an online major game. Smash Brothers is one of those sit-down-and-play type games. It kind of falls into the Mario Party kind of scenario. If it doesn't have a good single-player mode, you know, like, you won't play it unless you have people with you, you know? I mean, yes, you can play online, but I feel like with Smash Brothers, it's such a heavy game where, you know, people are always with you and always playing it. Mario Party is such a specific thing. Certain people like it. But Smash Brothers is one of those things that basically everyone that's a Nintendo fan, everyone likes it. So, that's it if we were to have one Direct this month. But, if RGT 85 is correct, and we have 2 Nintendo Directs this month, one of them is reported to be between the dates of November 5th and November 12th. And I'm trying to use Nintendo's patterns of Nintendo Direct dates. So my guess, it's either going to be a Tuesday, a Thursday, or a Saturday. So it would either be the 6th, the 8th, or the 10th. Which I'm leaning more towards the 6th or the 8th, because I don't really see them doing a weekend Direct. So probably the 6th or the 8th would be my best bet as to when this first Direct would come out. And it would probably be Smash. You know, I'm just going to assume it's Smash. So the second one, in my opinion, is probably going to be the more grand one. And I'm going to use the term grand pretty loosely here, because I'm personally not expecting too much. If they do have another Nintendo Direct that is all Nintendo games focused, I personally don't expect too much, simply because of how grand the last one was. I mean, I do expect to hear information on more games. I'm kind of expecting a Metroid Prime 4, because it's really been a while since Metroid Prime 4 has been talked about. I mean, it's been announced, like, about a year and a half ago, so I have a feeling they're gonna at least mention it. Pokemon, depending on when it comes, like, when this Direct comes out, you know, because Pokemon does come out in November, so it is possible they could touch on Pokemon right before it comes out. I'm just gonna get this out there. I'm not expecting anything on Luigi's Mansion 3, being that it was announced back in September, and we know nothing about it. I have a feeling it's gonna fall under the same train as Yoshi's Crafted World. I have a feeling we're not gonna hear about it for a while, and it might be delayed. I could even see it coming out in 2020, personally, because the game looks empty to me. I think they have a lot more detail work to do, and that's where Yoshi's Crafted World comes in, where they really did a lot of detail work, where they really beefed it up and made it look really good compared to when they revealed it. So I think that they're going to really focus on Luigi's Mansion 3, and they're not going to talk about it. I don't think they're going to talk about it until E3. March at the earliest. I don't think they're going to cover it for a while, simply because it just isn't ready to really be shown. You know, what we saw was great, but I'm actually going to have a video coming out either at the end of this week or next week where I talk about a lot of concerns I'm starting to get for the game, because I am starting to get quite a few concerns as these weeks roll on with Luigi's Mansion 3. But no, as for the Direct in November, let me get back on track. I do expect something with Metroid. I think that's going to be the big one. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the big one. And like I said, I don't expect too much from this Direct. So I think we're going to hear some Pokemon news. I don't think there's going to be any new announcements. I don't think there's going to be anything, you know, that Nintendo's going to come out of left field and reveal. We're not going to see... I don't think we're going to see Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't think we're going to see Animal Crossing. Bayonetta 3 is an interesting one. I couldn't know less about Bayonetta 3. I really couldn't. But I think people are saying it's going to be like a spring 2019 release. So I feel like they kind of have to show something, even if it's just a teaser. I feel like they have to show something, but I don't know if they're going to do it in a November Direct. I don't know. That might be something that they save until January, maybe? I don't know. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of indie stuff as well, because we haven't really heard a lot from indie developers recently when it comes to the Switch, so I think we're going to have an indie section, probably like a quick reel of, you know, maybe like a minute or two of indie titles. Hopefully not too much, and hopefully not too many of the 2D side-scrollers or 2D games that we saw in the last Indies Direct. Like, because I like indie games, but I'm very picky. I like indie games that either have good style, or I do generally look at the 3D games, because I am playing a Switch. I want to play games that have a little more... I'm not saying that 2D games don't have any work put into them. I'm just saying that 3D games just feel more... You know, unless it's a really, like, jagged one, you know, like, I don't know. Just 3D games charm me a little more. Unless it kind of, you know, unless it does something different in the 2D realm, like Cuphead. Like, Cuphead was so unique, you know, and Golf Story, even though it's a 2D 8-bit game, it was like a unique golf RPG. So, like, it has to be unique in a certain way for me to enjoy it as a 2D game. That's why I prefer 3D games. But, you know, I do think we are overdue for some Nindy news. I don't think we'll see much more about New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Simply because we know what there is to know about that game. It's New Super Mario Bros. U, the Deluxe Edition. Unless they're going to pull like a Luigi's Mansion 3DS and they're going to tell us more information, like there's something else new besides Toadette. Well, really, Toadette's the only new addition here. But, yeah. I don't know what else they could really add to that game. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Unless they want to add more levels, which I really don't think they'll do. Because to them, the whole adding the new Super Luigi U, that's the big thing. So, I don't think we're going to get any new levels or anything like that. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap the video up. Because I don't... Personally, if it's going to be one Direct, I think it's going to be a huge Smash Direct. I think it's going to be completely Smash focused. They're going to reveal some stuff. And as long as they get a single player component in there, I'll be happy. Because that's what I'm looking for. That single player story component. And if they do 2 Directs, I'm still expecting that pretty big Smash, Direct. But I'm expecting a little bit of a smaller, kind of like, here's some more information before the holiday season kind of Nintendo thing. And who knows, maybe the N64 Classic will be announced. Because of the fact that people are expecting that will come out in the holiday season, so that could come out. No one knows. That's the beauty of Nintendo, right? Like, no one really knows what they're going to announce. You know, people say that they expect too much of Nintendo, which is true of some people. Some people do expect a lot of Nintendo, and I don't really know why. You know, Nintendo makes all these high-quality games, and yes, a lot of them, to me at least, have been kind of lower in quality since kind of the Wii-ish era. But I think there's been a pickup in quality lately, and, you know, I'm definitely anxious to see what Nintendo's up to. You know, like, with my predictions, it's just what I want to see. It's not being like, oh, these have to be shown, or else I'm going to riot. It's just kind of like what I want to see. It's kind of like, these are the things that Nintendo could announce that would get people excited. That's just my philosophy on things. Wow, I went off topic there. But, nevertheless, let me know what you would want to see in a new Nintendo Direct next month. I feel like it's really soon, but it's been 2 months, you know, like when these Directs could come out, it's been 2 months, so it's highly possible that these Directs could be happening, and who knows? If anything, we'd probably figure out next week, because this weekend is the weekend before Halloween, which means November is right around the corner. So, these Directs could be announced, or at least one of the Directs could be announced sooner rather than later. So, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell. I'm working on a lot more content. Luigi's Mansion, I'm making a lot more content about Luigi's Mansion 3, particularly. So if you like Luigi's Mansion, because you know I'm kind of turning into a Luigi's Mansion-based channel, apparently, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon. That's a like. But give the videos a like as well. Yeah. Till next time, guys. See you in the next video.